Ich finde, dass Joe Biden jemand ist, der sehr klar ist, der genau weiß, was er tut und der auch, gerade wenn es um internationale Politik geht, zu den erfahrensten Politikern gehört, die weltweit überhaupt unterwegs sind. Das ist in so einer schwierigen Situation wie der, wo ein Krieg hier in Europa in unserer Nähe stattfindet, nachdem Russland die Ukraine überfallen hat und wo viele, viele andere Konflikte die Welt umtreiben, ein Asset, etwas Gutes. Und deshalb kann ich nur sagen, das ist ein Mann, der genau weiß, was er tut.
The conduct of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in. I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side.
Und deshalb kann ich nur sagen, das ist ein Mann, der genau weiß, was er tut.
Russia will not prevail in this war. Ukraine will prevail in this war, and we'll stand with them every single step of the way. That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Ich finde, dass Joe Biden jemand ist, der sehr klar ist, der genau weiß, was er tut und der auch, gerade wenn es um internationale Politik geht, zu den erfahrensten Politikern gehört, die weltweit überhaupt unterwegs sind.
To what extent has Vladimir Putin been weakened by recent events?
It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home.
Ich finde, dass Joe Biden jemand ist, der sehr klar ist, der genau weiß, was er tut und der auch, gerade wenn es um internationale Politik geht, zu den erfahrensten Politikern gehört, die weltweit überhaupt unterwegs sind. Das ist in so einer schwierigen Situation wie der, wo ein Krieg hier in Europa in unserer Nähe stattfindet, nachdem Russland die Ukraine überfallen hat und wo viele, viele andere Konflikte die Welt umtreiben, ein Asset, etwas Gutes. Und deshalb kann ich nur sagen, das ist ein Mann, der genau weiß, was er tut.
Making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's.
Well, Mr. President, I just demoted you, Mr. Prime Minister. It's great to have you back. And the past few months we've met each other in San Diego, and then we met in Belfast.
What concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be Vice President, but I think she was not qualified to be President. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for President. I beat him once, and I will beat him again. I'm sorry. And so our military is working. I'm following the advice of my commander-in-chief, the chief of staff of the military, as well as the Secretary of Defense and our intelligence people.
This concludes.
Respectfully, earlier you misspoke in your opening answer. You referred to Vice President Harris as Vice President Trump. Right now, Donald Trump is using that to mock your age and your memory. how do you combat that criticism from tonight?
Listen to him.
This concludes tonight's press conference. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Ich finde, dass Joe Biden jemand ist, der sehr klar ist, der genau weiß, was er tut und der auch, gerade wenn es um internationale Politik geht, zu den erfahrensten Politikern gehört, die weltweit überhaupt unterwegs sind. Das ist in so einer schwierigen Situation wie der, wo ein Krieg hier in Europa in unserer Nähe stattfindet, nachdem Russland die Ukraine überfallen hat und wo viele, viele andere Konflikte die Welt umtreiben, ein
Wing, 10 shut. Mr. President, thank you for joining us today.
People coming across the border illegally, that's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
Right after I was elected, I went to what they call a G7 meeting, all the NATO leaders. It was in the south of England. And I sat down and I said, America's back. And Mitterrand from France looked at me and said, you know, why, how long are you back for? And I looked at him, and the Chancellor of Germany said, what would you say, Mr. President, if you picked up the paper tomorrow in the London Times, and the London Times said, 1,000 people break through the House of Commons, break down the doors, 2 bobbies are killed in order to stop the election of the Prime Minister. What would you say? I never thought about it from that perspective. What would we say if that happened in another democracy around the world? There is some movement, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. There's some movement. There's been a response from there's been a response from the opposition, but yes, I'm sorry, from Hamas, but it seems to be a little over the top. We're not sure where it is. There's a continuing negotiation right now. You see this tie I have with a shamrock on it? This was given to me by one of these guys right here. Was a hell of a rugby player, and they beat the hell out of the black and tans. Oh, God, it was but it was when you were at a Soldier Field, wasn't it, the game? Chicago. And after it was all over, he gave my brother, allegedly for me, but if it wasn't, I still took it. I still got the tie. I wear it with great pride. And so thank you all for the homecoming welcome.
Yet another chapter in the beautiful story of the friendship between our two nations, the United States of America and the Jewish and democratic state of Israel, both of us who seek to do good and need to be strong, both of us who are
disabled and non-disabled all around the world, I call on you to commit to concrete actions to stop the destruction of this magnificent planet. This conference is one of the most important meetings in history. You have the chance to make decisions and reach agreements which will affect the lives of generations to come. You are in a position of extraordinary power. You can change forever the trajectory we are on. You can make a world that is once again full of hope, not fear. This is my message from Earth to come. On behalf of we, the 15, I ask you, to guarantee a safer future for every life, regardless of their ability.
Ich finde, dass Joe Biden jemand ist, der sehr klar ist, der genau weiß, was er tut und der auch, gerade wenn es um internationale Politik geht, zu den erfahrensten Politikern gehört, die weltweit überhaupt unterwegs sind. Das ist in so einer schwierigen Situation wie der, wo ein Krieg hier in Europa in unserer Nähe stattfindet, nachdem Russland die Ukraine überfallen hat und wo viele, viele andere Konflikte die Welt umtreiben, ein